Firstly, I want you to tell my audience what it takes to acquire land in Buea and how to know which land is fake, because one land can be sold to about 5 different people. We have seen that, we see that every day.
That's correct.
How do you know this land is real and this land is fake, or this land belongs to someone else?
So most of our clients, we always advise them to go for new layouts or for native lands.
They should avoid state lands.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rainbow Holdings. Rainbow Holdings is the mother company or an empire which gave birth to 3 different companies: Rainbow Tourism Agency, Rainbow Transport and Logistics, as well as Rainbow Real Estate Management. Located in Buea, Rainbow is being run by a young and vibrant CEO known as Mr. Mbella Martin Letumbe, Bakuriman, popularly known as Mayor. Mr. Martin is a petroleum engineer, but for his love for business, Mr. Martin decided to create Rainbow Holdings. Without much talking, let's look at the person who is brightening the color of Cameroon's business through a rainbow.
Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be bringing you another exclusive interview with one of the youngest and most vibrant entrepreneurs here in Buea. And talking about vibrant and young entrepreneur, you know my channel talks about young people with the challenges we face in Cameroon. Young men, young women doing it big. No matter how small you start, but making an impact in the community around you. My segment isn't about old people who have made their money in the past and everything, but young men growing up in business in whatever way possible, struggling, trying so hard to make Cameroon a better place. And that is what Mr. Mbella Martin right here is doing. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Chimex.
And welcome to Out with Chimex. I'm really honored you granted me this interview.
Of course, it's been a long time.
Yeah. You are based in Buea. And in Buea, you run a company known as Rainbow Holdings.
That's correct.
Which is, I don't know if I should say, an empire, which...
Actually, Rainbow, it's a holding made up of a group of companies. Firstly, we have Rainbow Property Management, which is a real estate company. We have Rainbow Transport and Logistics, which is the transport and logistics company. And then we have Rainbow Ecotourism and Rainbow Agricultural Corporation. So Rainbow Holdings, it's a holding of 4 different companies and they operate independently.
Okay. Wow. That's huge, man. That's huge. So before getting into Rainbow Holdings, before getting into all the details that you guys want to know, I just want my viewers to have like a brief summary of who you are and what you're trying to do business-wise with everything that you run in the society. So who is Mr. Mbella Martin?
Okay, like you already told your audience, I'm called Mbella Martin and I'm a real estate entrepreneur, and I studied petroleum engineering, which is like a career, but I got the initiative in 2016 to set up this holding of a real estate company.
Yeah.
And then alongside, since we always try to diversify our investments, I came around now with the initiative to set up other companies which will work alongside with the real estate company. Like I just made mention of transport and logistics, tourism, and agriculture.
Okay. So you studied petroleum engineering.
That's correct.
But Rainbow Holdings has nothing in relation to petroleum. So is there something in the works which you are trying to reveal for us in the future? You can keep it secret if you want to.
Yeah.
But then why did you diversify into something which is completely out of your study scope?
Well, Chimex, first of all, you know me, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
I've always liked business. But along the line, petroleum engineering was equally a dream. Yeah, I remember when I started with Rainbow, that was in 2016, when we registered the company. We had so many challenges. Yeah, we had so many challenges, especially because real estate is big.
Yeah.
Real estate is really huge. So practically, coupled with the challenges we faced, especially in 2016 with the outbreak of the Anglophone crisis, because we had contracted a couple of residential estates which we were not able to meet up to at the end of the day, like ROI was a problem. So I decided to see how we could source in finances into the company. That's what inspired me to go into the oil and gas industry, to see how I could create some revenue, like I could bring in investments into Rainbow.
Okay. So one of the main issues people have in Buea in particular is land.
Of course.
Land is one of the major cause of disputes here in Buea. I don't want to talk in Cameroon in general because it is rampant in Buea and in Douala. So Rainbow real estate property management, how do you come in place to settle those land disputes? Firstly, I want you to tell my audience what it takes to acquire land in Buea and how to know which land is fake, because one land can be sold to about 5 different people. We have seen that, we see that every day.
That's correct.
Correct. How do you acquire land in Buea, and how do you know this land is real and this land is fake, or this land belongs to someone else? Like, using Rainbow Properties, property management, how can you assist in letting people get real, authentic land and with all documents here in Buea?
Yeah, Chima, that's a very good question. Actually, at the level of a company, because it's a random word or a random name that people call around, this name they say Demarcher. Okay. I believe that the real estate industry in Buea in particular, for example, like we have a company called Digital Rentals. They created a seminar. They're trying to see how they can bring forth a forum to bring real estate dealers together, because they want to cancel that name of the Demarcher. First of all, this is how people get involved into this acquisition of illegal lands, okay? Because they don't pass through the right channels. Yeah. Okay, Rainbow, for example, what we do is we have a strategic system that I've set aside, that I've put in place to protect our clients' interest, especially for those who are looking forward to purchase lands. Okay, what we do is, when somebody brings a land he wants to sell, it is his land, for example, and he brings probably the site plan to us, because that's where sales starts. He brings the site plan and probably an allocation letter from the chief if the land doesn't have a title. Okay. What we do is, as a company, we register this information in our system, and then we go to the site, we evaluate the site, okay? We try to do now background information later on about that piece of land, like checking with neighbors, because they're identified on the site plan. You will see who is the neighbor of the north, the south, the east, and the west. Okay. Probably you see everything. It's identified on the site plan. So we try to get in contact with those neighbors and to get a background information about that piece of land. Okay, now that's for a land that doesn't have a land title. It just has probably the deeds, which was signed by the lawyer, and the site plan, and probably the allocation letter from the chief. We could go as far as meeting the chief to verify what is going on. Like, have you ever issued certain documents to this Mr. So? Okay, but now for a land that has a land title, which people consider it to be the most secured and genuine, we go at the level of the delegation of lands and survey. And every land title has those informations in it. So we take these land titles to the lands and survey and do our verification to know if the land title is authentic before we can advertise in our platform for sale.
So you guys go with the land title to the survey office, and you verify. But still, there are people who have been to the survey office with the land title. It is being verified. But then, somebody comes out of the blue that this land has been sold to me, brings his own land title. How do you know if a land title is real, legit or not?
Okay, like what I explained to you earlier, you see at the level of lands and survey, they don't just issue titles anonymously.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't issue titles anonymously. And then also there are cases where a land might have a general land title. Okay, you're buying it with the information that it has a general land title. And within that general land title now, you go and obtain an extract. You get the point? You obtain an extract from the general land title. And then you can make a land title now for that your own little piece of land that you bought from the person who had the general estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
If in a case where it is a generational land being passed down to generations to generation upon generation,
Yeah.
can it be sold to someone without having issues of, okay, my brother, the brother comes now and starts saying that this land was being sold without his consent?
Information, yeah.
Yes. So that is one of the major problems. You see a brother from nowhere come and say, my brother sold this land, he didn't take my consent.
It was a family land
Yes.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
we've
with
had
such
cases,
cases,
we've had cases like that as well. We've had cases like that. But you see, with the generational land thing, what happens is, let's say for example, parents died, they left the land with their child. Obviously, it cannot bear the whole family's name, like the children. They cannot put everybody's name on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what happens is they go like a next of kin thing.
Okay.
One person's name has to appear there. In the document, one person's name has to appear
Like they
there.
had the next of king.
Yes. And then still at that, what will happen is the family will probably, if they had a lawyer, they'll leave a power of attorney
Okay.
to the person who is in the right position to sell that piece of land.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are cases where some family members still come up and say, well, it was a family land, he didn't have the right to sell it, but we're looking at documents because that's the only thing that can show how valid the land was. Yeah.
So the owner of the document, the person who has the land title, is the legit owner of the document.
Of course.
And two people cannot have two land titles for one land.
No.
Okay. Mr. Martin, we know many people in the diaspora or many young people who want to invest in land, like buy land to resell or buy land to build something.
Yeah.
There are available land in Buea. Like, Buea is huge.
Yeah.
Forget about these streets, one street that you see from Mile 17 to Buea, I don't know. Buea is large and the land is rich.
Of course.
So why should someone from the diaspora come to invest in Buea, and where are the lands available? Anyway, maybe you might have your secret lands which you don't want you don't want your fellow estates or your fellow real estate agents to locate them.
Yeah.
But then, you know there are lands available in Buea, legit land available in Buea for people to buy as we speak.
Yeah.
So what does it take, and how can Rainbow make that easy, make that very, very easy?
Okay, Chimex, as you already know, we have lands, like people bring lands to our office, register them, and tell us they want to sell them. Probably they have a couple of problems.
Yeah.
There are lands which are known as state lands. There are lands which are known as native lands. And then we have now these new layouts.
Yeah.
Okay. So most of our clients, we always advise them to go for new layouts or for native lands.
They should avoid state lands.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does not mean that state lands are illegal.
Yeah, there are some state lands which are obtained genuinely.
Yeah.
But we don't want to go into that stretch. You know,
Because
at the level of a company, we ought to keep a reputation.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like, it's not political.
Yeah.
Okay? So, because we don't want to go into the political aspect, we just try to deal with what the society offers. Like new layouts, we encourage sales for new layouts, we encourage sales for native lands.
And by native land, you mean land owned by Bakure people?
Okay, let's say you take a village, for example, like Bokwai, Bokova. Those lands, those houses you see there, they have bushes behind them.
Okay.
Where they were doing probably their agricultural farming at the time. Now places have opened. Okay, they tend to sell now these backyards.
Okay.
You get the point.
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
native. Those are native lands because they grew up in those areas.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have now these other sites which is like new layouts. You already know, like the government awards it to certain villages and then they start selling. So like we have what I have here. These are site plans of some lands that people registered. They came and registered and said we should try to see how we could help them sell them. Okay, so when we get this information, if you take for example, you see everything is stipulated there. We go to the site and we do now the background information to know how legit the neighbors know you. Do the neighbors know you? Like your neighbor in the left, the north, he will give us probably some information which is before we can be able now to advertise this in our platforms. So this is how we get to have the availabilities of lands and stuff like that.
Because I saw a communique whereby I think Konak summons people people who have houses at GRA, federal quarters, Boyata, and some neighborhood.
Yeah.
Those are state lands.
Yeah.
My people, avoid state lands too. Because tomorrow government can come and say, okay, they want to make a road here or they want to build an office here or something. There's nothing you can do. You can't fight the government in Cameroon.
Of course.
So from the advice of Rainbow Management, go for new layouts or native lands. So Rainbow Management, Rainbow Real Estate Management, you guys manage properties. Is that all you do or you build as well?
Yeah, we were able to set up a construction sector in 2018. Yeah. What we do is with property management, which is just one of the real estate services that we offer, we get to properties, evaluate them, and we try to get owners of those properties, and then we give them a property management proposal document stipulating that, for example, if you have a cité, for example, with rooms, kitchen, and toilet. Let me give you a rough statistics. Like one of the references we had in 2016 when we started, we had a cité in Malingo. It's called Avenida Hostel that we contracted for a period of 1 year. This property was we evaluated it at 3.7 million every year. So we went into a lease agreement with the landlady that will give you 3 million cash, and then we manage the property, and then we get a commission of 700,000. So at the beginning of each academic year, we just put 3 million into our account and we renew the contract. So my lawyer was in charge of all of those paperwork, but we already have a well-documented thing that we propose to them, and we give the landladies some good reasons. Take for example, Chimex, you build a house, it's a commercial property, and you're sleeping at night. And then your tenant calls you, one of your tenants call and tell, my neighbor is playing loud music. Early in the morning you wake up and you're like, another person calls, my toilet will not flush. You know, those, like, it becomes so annoying. Okay, so we try to give landlords or landladies these reasons why you should have a company manage your property for you.
So they transfer all that burden to you guys.
Yeah. That's how we were able to get into construction, because along the line, since we're carrying maintenance in most of these properties, we started contracting technicians, builders, plumbers, electricians, and we realized that we already have a team, so why can't we build?
That's true. So, with the crisis in Buea, the crisis has plagued Buea for over 5 years, since 2016 when you guys started.
Good.
So, but still within this crisis mode, you guys managed to set up, I think, four companies under Rainbow Holdings.
Yeah.
Were you guys not affected by the crisis, or you have your way to move around?
We were, like, nobody would say he or she wasn't affected by the crisis. The thing is, in 2016, we recorded so much loss. Yeah, but The good thing with the company, the good thing with companies, it's sometimes these losses they tend to bring fun. Like that's the business. Those moments where you go through those challenges, it's the business. How you're able to overcome those challenges. That's the actual business you're doing. So we were affected. Like if you noticed in 2018, 19, we were not really active.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were not really active. Like it was really hell. We only managed to pick up early last year, and we were just like pulling and pulling. I will only say thanks to God, man. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I remember a lot of companies we started together, like most of them had to vanish.
So with Rainbow coming in Buea, because many Cameroonians know Douala being the economic capital, everything is centered there in Douala.
Yeah.
But Rainbow has decided to be in Buea, manage properties in Buea, carry out all your other entrepreneurial activities in Buea.
Yeah.
So why do you think you need to stay in Buea? Like what is that thing Buea is offering? Because a layman will say Buea has nothing. Everything in Douala.
Yeah. That's
you see,
correct.
a layman will say Buea has nothing, everything is in Douala, but you are making it big in Buea.
Yeah.
And let me not say Buea, but you are based here, this is your headquarters, but you manage properties around Southwest. So why didn't you start, because this is a great idea, why didn't you take this to Douala? Why did you prefer to stay in Buea? And this should serve as a lesson, because many young entrepreneurs feel like they need to leave Buea, they need to leave Limbe and move to Douala. So why did you decide to stay in Buea?
Well, Chimex, I was born in Buea.
Bakure man.
Yeah. And also, when you, like with startups, I'm not a motivational speaker per se, but for my own little experience, trying to move around with Rainbow for over 5 years now, with startups, it's not usually easy. It's not usually easy. There are certain sources of capitals which are attributed to every company. Friends and family, it's one. I grew up in Buea, I schooled in Buea, I've lived most of my life in Buea. There are some advantages you can easily obtain around the environment in which you are familiar with. References, for example. Referrals, for example. You deal with one person, he connects you to another person, like it just has to go that way. You know, your own platform you're working on, it has to do, most of them are your friends. They start talking about you, like they see your services, they start talking about you, recommending you to others. I believe that I have that popularity in Buea, and for a start, we can start with Buea. You know, like, it's not like we're not looking forward to move to other towns. We intend to do that, but we want to have a ground-based foundation.
So what is that gap Rainbow Property Management or Rainbow Holding as a whole is trying to fill in the Cameroon business sector? Why should we contract Rainbow for our logistics, for our housing, for our everything?
Well, I believe that customer service, the taste and quality of our services, it's the key factor that I'm trying to spice up. Okay, I'm working with a lot of graphic designers and other people who are putting ideas on how to go about with the branding of Rainbow. Okay, like for example, we're trying to spice up. We have a service in real estate which is called property rentals, where we help people locate residential properties as well as commercial properties. Banks, organization, we had an attestation with the United Nations, UN OCHAs at one point. Okay, now, the same people, we have this service for real estate that we get you a house. We have another service in transport and logistics, which is called home movers, F1 home movers. We get you a house, probably you are living in Limbe, you want to move over to Buea. You contact us, you're looking for a house in Buea. We find you a house, you like it. If you move into the house, we propose to you that we have a truck We have a team of home movers.
That is Rainbow Transport and Logistics now.
Yeah, the other company. So it's interrelated. So we propose this to you. This team can move your luggages from Limbe to Buea into your new house. So you see how the two companies are interrelated. So that's the quality. And then if you notice, for example, transferring is not usually easy.
No, it's one of the most difficult challenges.
It's not usually easy. So we have been able to identify these problems and see how we're bringing solutions to the problems. And that's where I think Rainbow will take its peak with that, yeah. Should people choose Rainbow like over others? We have a unique service that we're offering, which is biogas installation. We have devised a system on using organic waste and converting it into cooking gas.
Oh wow.
So let's take, for example, I'll just explain to you how it works about. We build a biogas plant probably in your apartment. Considering your household, we'll design what size of the plant it should be. And we feed this biogas digester with your organic waste, like your kitchen waste, kanda plantain, or any organic waste you have from your kitchen. We feed it into this digester and it decomposes. We have some bacteria which develop out of that decomposition, and you tend to convert that into a certain gas which is known as methane gas. And we use that gas now and pipe your kitchen, and you can use it as a cooking gas.
So you literally don't buy gas anymore. What if you don't have any waste?
If you don't have waste, we've set up a team of logistics whereby we buy organic waste and store in our warehouse, and we move around and feed digesters of people who we've had contracts with.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily have to come from your own kitchen waste.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we choose to manage it because most people would not have the expertise to control it themselves. So we don't just build and abandon with you, and then probably you call later on and say you're no longer having gas because you don't know how to manage it. So we've set up a team for logistics now with Rainbow Transport and Logistics, who comes and feed these digesters, and it will provide you gas within a period of time. So we have a gauge, a gas gauge, which evaluates what quantity of gas it will produce considering the amount of organic waste they feed inside the digester. Now it's going to depend on your household and the information you give us on how you regularly use your gas.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a green project. I believe these are some of the things which would give Rainbow its ranking in the society.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. So there you have it, guys. So any last word for young entrepreneurs trying to make it big in Cameroon or in Buea? How should they go about it too?
Yeah. All entrepreneurs don't take care. But I would just say, like, we should not lose focus. Yeah, we should not. It's not easy, but I believe in consistency. One day it will pay you. One day it definitely has to. We just have to be strong and look forward to the legacy, man.
So I will leave their number in the description box below. If you need Rainbow services, be it real estate or transport and logistics, you contact them. With their number is going to be left in the description box. Are you guys present on social media?
Yeah.
So what's the social media handle?
Rainbow Property Management, Facebook page.
Okay.
Instagram, the same thing. Twitter, the same.
So guys, there you have it. The CEO of Rainbow Holdings, Mr. Mbella Martin, and hope you learned a little one or two things from this talk. I wouldn't call it an interview because he's my friend and this is just a talk. And yeah, so see you on the next one, and peace. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you, guys. Peace.